Hi everyone, good evening. Welcome to yet another guided newspaper practice class. We organize these classes every week with the aim to help students improve their fundamentals of the language. Now, if you are a first timer here, you might not know what we do in these classes. We pick up a newspaper article, we tell you to read the article along with us and try and understand it as much as possible. And then we read out the article completely, tell you meanings of difficult words, and then we ask you to repeat after us. Now, all of this helps you improve listening, reading, speaking, and in the end, we also ask you to write down sentences with the words that you learned. Okay, so if you're someone who has just joined, you may want to let me know on the chat box as to whether you're here or no. Okay, anyone who's here already before I get started? And today's topic is Zoom fatigue, as in, and how it affects men and women, and how it affects women more than it affects men. Just give me a hi on the live chat so that I know you're here, and that'll help me address you and maybe answer your queries as well. Okay, all right. Let's get started. You'll just try to read the article along with me, and then we'll try and understand the meaning in detail. Okay, yes. Meetings from home over virtual platforms have taken a toll on most of us, but a new study has shown that it has impacted women more than men. The exhaustion caused by online meetings, or what is now known as Zoom fatigue, has affected 1 in 7 women who reported feeling very to extremely fatigued during the online calls, revealed the study by Stanford researchers. The study has been published in the journal Technology, Mind, and Behavior. The researchers surveyed 10,322 participants in February and March and used their Zoom exhaustion and fatigue scale to better understand the individual differences of burnout from the extensive use of video conferencing technologies amid the pandemic. Okay, moving ahead, we've all heard stories about Zoom fatigue and anecdotal evidence that women are affected more. But now we have quantitative data that Zoom fatigue is worse for women, and more importantly, we know why. Jeffrey Hancock, professor of communication in the School of Humanities and Science and co author of the study, was quoted as saying, what caused more exhaustion among women was what is called self focused attention by social psychologists, triggered by self view in video conferencing. Prolonged self focus can result in negative emotions, or what researchers call mirror anxiety. Zoom fatigue was also found to be caused by the lack of physical movement. Unlike face to face meetings where people can move around, pace, or stretch, video conferencing limits movement. Besides, researchers found that while women have same number of meetings per day as men, the meetings tend to run longer. Women were also found less likely to take breaks between meetings, which also contribute to the increased weariness. Now, how easy was this article? Just let me know how much you understood on the chat box. Samji, thanks so much for joining, and everyone else who is here. Just let me know how much you understood of this article. I'm sure this article is straightforward enough. It's not very difficult to understand, but it did have a lot of good words for you to pick up. Okay. Now, anyone else apart from Samji wants to let me know how much you understood? Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, let's move ahead and I'll just help you read the article in detail. I'll clarify these meanings for you. Yeah? Okay. Meetings from home over virtual platforms. What is a virtual platform? Anything that does not help you meet in real. That's virtual. Okay? Have taken a toll. That's a great idiom, or it's a great phrase to use in your speaking test. Have taken a toll on most of us, as in it has affected most of us badly. But a new study has shown that it has impacted women more than men. Okay, so it's women, not woman. Woman is singular, women is plural. Impacted, it has affected badly. Okay, and it has kind of made women feel more burnt out or more tired than men. Okay, let's move ahead. The exhaustion, tiredness caused by online meetings, or what is now known as Zoom fatigue. Fatigue is tiredness again, exhaustion, fatigue mean the same thing, has impacted 1 in 7 women who reported feeling very to extremely fatigued during the online calls, revealed the study by Stanford researchers. The study has been published in this journal, okay, Technology, Mind and Behavior. Moving ahead, the researchers uh, took notes from or took responses from 10,322 participants in February and March and used their Zoom exhaustion and fatigue scale. Okay, this is a measurement that they have, how much they got tired and all of that, to better understand the individual differences of burnout from the extensive use. A lot, extensive is a lot, okay, a lot in quantity. Okay, so extensive use of video conferencing technologies amid the pandemic, right? So they used this particular measurement to better understand the individual differences of burnout, as in between men and women. What is the difference of burnout? Again, tiredness, okay, fatigue, burnout, tiredness, exhaustion, all of that means the same. From the extensive use of video conferencing technologies amid the pandemic. Extensive use. Okay, that means you use it a lot, right? Okay, moving ahead. We've all heard stories about Zoom fatigue and anecdotal evidence. Anecdotal. Now, what is an anecdote? Anything that's a data, anything that's an incident that happened. Okay, that's an anecdote, right? Anecdotal evidence, as in some kind of these kind of incidents that are put together as stories, as real stories to back up the data. That's anecdotal. And anecdotal evidence that women are affected more, but now we have quantitative data, as in it's not just people telling incidences and stories about women being affected more. They have enough quantitative data. What is quantitative? Mathematical data, that Zoom fatigue is worse for women, and more importantly, we know why. Okay, so they're trying to analyze this and they've understood that a lot of women feel burnt out. Why is that? Okay, now here is the reason. What caused more exhaustion among women was what is called self focused attention by social psychologists, triggered by self view in video conferencing. Now, for example, you are on a video call, an office video call, you tend to look at yourself more than concentrating on what is happening in the meeting. Now, when that happens, when you have self focused attention or self view, you tend to have a lot of negative emotions, or what researchers call mirror anxiety, as in you are anxious about looking at yourself in the mirror, right? And prolonged self focus, as in doing this for a long time for long meetings, can result in women having this tiredness or fatigue. That's the reason. And women have this more. That's what the writer is trying to tell. Let's move ahead. Zoom fatigue was also found to be the lack of caused to be caused by the lack of physical movement. Now, this is true for anyone, but more so for women. Okay. So when you are in a Zoom meeting or when you're doing a call with someone at work, you are less likely to move, unlike face-to-face meetings where you are move around. You're able to move around, pace or stretch, as in you're able to walk, go walk while you speak, and also you're able to stretch. But video conferencing does not allow that, unfortunately. You can't move around and speak, right? That's why Zoom fatigue is another reason. I mean, another reason is that there is no physical movement in that. Besides, researchers found that while women have the same number of meetings per day as men, their meetings tend to run longer. Because their meetings are longer, generally longer than what it is with men, women also find this tiredness to be more. And also, women are less likely to take breaks between meetings. So, between one meeting and another, you just don't take a break. You keep doing this on and on, you get tired after a point. That's also another reason. So they've identified these reasons, psychologists have identified these reasons and have said that these may be the reasons why women are more prone to having tiredness on Zoom calls than men. Okay, so did you guys understand the article now? Can you just give me a yes on the chat box if you did? Yeah? Okay. Okay, great. Good that you understood this. Let's now do some guided speaking. We'll do that for a couple of paragraphs. Okay, yes, let's go ahead. And now you're going to repeat this after me. Right? So you're going to use the same amount of stresses and pauses. Let's go ahead. Meetings from home over virtual platforms have taken a toll on most of us. But a new study has shown that it has impacted women more than men. Okay, good. The exhaustion, okay, that's how it's pronounced. The exhaustion caused by online meetings, exhaustion caused by online meetings, or what is now known as Zoom fatigue, has affected 1 in 7 women who reported feeling very to extremely fatigued during the online calls, revealed the study by Stanford researchers. What is revealed? Gave out. Okay, gave out details. Okay. The study has been published in the journal Technology, Mind and Behavior. Okay. Moving ahead, the researchers surveyed 10,322 participants in February and March and used their Zoom exhaustion and fatigue scale to better understand the individual differences of burnout from the extensive use of video conferencing technologies amid the pandemic. Okay? Okay. Great. So that's with the guided speaking part. Let's just move ahead and maybe do one more paragraph before we move on to writing. We've all heard stories about Zoom fatigue and anecdotal evidence that women are affected more. But now we have quantitative data that Zoom fatigue is worse for women, and more importantly, we know why. Okay, let's move ahead. What caused more exhaustion among women was what is called self focused attention by social psychologists, triggered by self view in video conferencing. Video, not video, okay? Video conferencing, triggered by self view in video conferencing. Okay, good. Prolonged self focus can result in negative emotions, or what researchers call mirror anxiety, okay, not anxiety, anxiety. Yeah, okay, okay, good. Did you do it along with me? All of you who are here, about 10 of you are here with me. Did you do it along with me? Did you repeat these sentences along with me in the same way, the same kind of stresses and pauses? You did. Okay, that's good. That's good. All right. Okay, I would also appreciate if you guys participate, right? Okay, great. Now what we're going to do is we are going to do some writing. Yes, good, Ashish. Well done. Great. So we're also going to do some writing here. We're going to understand how you can solve this problem. Now, this problem with Zoom meetings, this problem with online meetings, or even online classes for that matter, are equally stressful for both the teachers and the students at times if the classes are really long, right? So, how do you think Zoom, Preeti, good. How do you think Zoom fatigue can be handled? How do you think this can be handled? Give me the solution to this problem. We have how do you think? Anecdote. Okay, Ashish? The C sound has the K sound there. The C alphabet has a K sound. Anecdote. Okay? Yeah. It's like an incident. It's like a story that supports some kind of a theory. That's an anecdote. Okay? But my question here is how do you think Zoom fatigue can be solved? This is not true for women or men or adults. It is also true for children. A lot of children are taking online classes, right? How do you think this can be solved? And also, let's also summarize the good words that we learned today. We learned take a toll, right? A lot of Zoom classes have taken a toll on my health. Virtual platform, anything that's digital. And take a look at the paraphrasing impacted, affected, then there is exhaustion, then there is fatigue, then there is burnout. All these are great words that are synonyms, right? Now, we also have other good words here. Let's see. Anecdotal, right? Anecdote is some sort of a story. Now, we also have, other good words like trigger, or yes, enact or enable. All these are also good synonyms to the word trigger. Now, limits movement, as in restricts movement, also a good word that you can use. Increased weariness, tiredness, exhaustion, again, same meaning. Okay, good, good. Ashish, Preeti, taking breaks in between can help, is what you feel. I also want you guys to write full sentences. Try writing full sentences, okay, and maybe write a couple of sentences such that you are replicating what you will do in your speaking test whenever you are asked such questions. Of course, this will not be a question in your speaking test, but you should probably practice speaking at length, right? So try doing that, but I will still pin your chat, Preeti. Good message there, right? Okay, helps to reduce small breaks in between, Preeti. Help. Breaks can be plural. Good. Help to reduce exhaustion. Good sentence, Preeti. Prolonged is a long time. Okay, something that's extended over time. Okay, right. Okay, good, Ashish. I appreciate your participation here, and I also appreciate all the others who are participating and giving me sentences on the chat box. Please try doing this. Even after the class is done, try looking at the article. I am going to leave the link of this article in the description. You can read it and also reach out to me either on Instagram or through Telegram on your doubts about this article. Okay. I'll see you guys in another newspaper class. And also, if you want to be a part of our advanced programs, you can fill in the form that's there in the description of this video. Now, these advanced programs now are completely customizable and you choose the feature that you want to, right? All these programs are also affordable. So you can just take a look at how these programs look like. You can fill in the form if you're interested and we'll contact you and explain you these programs. Okay. So take care. Until then, make sure you don't leave the habit of reading alone. Just try and read as much as possible. Okay, I'm looking forward to sentences other than just Preeti's, also others who are watching us. Please post your sentences on the comments section. Yeah, all right, then I'll see you on Monday with another guided newspaper class. Bye bye. Have a nice day.